What's up guys, it's Crash. Got a really important Delta Force video for you guys today. The game director Shadow sat down and gave a bunch of answers to really important questions. I'm talking launch, PC launch, controller support, console, and a ton of other stuff that he sat down and talked about. The video was in Chinese, so I thought I would kind of read the subtitles and give you guys kind of an English version. So if I look down on my notes, that's what up. I don't want to miss anything and get you guys all the information because this is really exciting news and basically almost everything we need to know. There are a couple questions that come up, but we'll definitely get into it. So they talked about how to get access in the future. And they said in this test, which is closing very soon, if not already by the time you guys watch this, they will add more servers and infrastructure to allow even more players the next time the game returns. And that gives us the first answer to our biggest question. The game is returning, as I reported in another video, which I thought to be true from Gamescom. It is returning on the Steam Next Fest, which begins October 14th, and it runs through that week until the 21st. And in that, they confirmed that there's going to be new maps, which I'll get into a little bit later, new operators, new weapons, and a lot of game adjustments, which we will also get into as well as what's coming to the game. Now, the biggest question for me right now with that is, it seems weird, as good as the state as the game was, to do another test and then take it offline again. I feel like it should be able to be added and on and stayed, but I'm not 100% sure. So it'll be a little bit odd to me if they do another limited time test and take it back offline again. But irregardless, we will be able to play it again October 14th that week sometime. Not sure if it'll be right on the 14th, but during Steam Next Fest, it will be playable again. And it sounds like they're going to allow more people in. The other thing, full release, or I should say like their full time it's going to be out and about. I'm going to guess they'll probably still call it early access, will be Q4 of 2024. So that's the last 3 months of the year. If we're playing it towards the end of October, that leaves it to release no later than the next 2 months after that. With a full release, you're off and running and can play it indefinitely. So I really hope October is the day that they let us keep playing it, but that is the big remaining question. Now, console. A ton of people are wondering about console. When this free-to-play game has a really fleshed out extraction shooter comes to console, I think is going to be big. They confirmed that console is going to be Q1 of 2025. It's one of their main focuses right now. So that is, January, February, March of next year. So you're within a few months of this being out on console. The other question they had was about removing AI, which I sincerely hope they do because it's really frustrating unless you have super low player counts, which I really doubt is going to happen with this game. But they haven't decided what they want to do. They did it because they wanted matchmaking to be fast. They thought just in a very closed test with limited players, they wanted matchmaking to be really snappy and people not waiting on games for a long time. They're talking about totally removing it, and they're going to let us know what they do. At least there's going to be some transparency here, because it doesn't feel good to shoot AI and you're not sure if it's AI or not. It really is nice to know going into it whether they will be there or not, and it sounds like they're going to communicate that better, and they're considering removing it, which I really hope they do. A lot of folks were asking about PC controller support. It will be added at the same time the console version releases. So the first 3 months of 2025, full controller support will be coming to PC if you're into that. And they asked about Steam achievements. So Steam achievements will not be there at launch, and they know people want it, so it will be in the next major update after launch for PC. And then they asked about the campaign. The campaign will be coming in Q1 of 2025. That's the Black Hawk Down inspired story. So, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I think that's the paid portion of the game. I'm not 100% sure, so please don't quote me on that, but that's what I think I remember hearing. So that will be in the first one as well. So later this year, we're going to get the early access kind of launch, and then it really sounds like big things are coming in the first quarter of 2025 for Delta Force. It kind of feels like it's full release. And then this is a question that I didn't expect to be answered so soon. Night operations for Delta Force are coming in the first half of 2025. So it sounds like in an update kind of after the first one in the next 3 months in the next quarter, they're going to have night vision goggles, more gameplay elements related to night. So there's going to be night gameplay in the hazard ops mode, which will be really cool. NVGs will be awesome to see what they do there. They talked about anti-cheat. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more features and it's going to be more robust when it comes to launch. I really hope so. Everyone knows cheaters suck. And they said they're going to have more ways to track exploits and more ways to combat DMA cheats. And now I'm not a subhuman troglodyte, so I don't cheat. I don't know exactly what DMA is or how it works, but I think it's direct memory access cheats, which is actually a piece of hardware that you put in your PCIe slot. I think I've seen a picture of one in one of their trailers before, and they're working on ways to combat that. So anything better on anti-cheat is awesome. Killcam. So someone asked about Killcam kind of combating cheaters, because you can see if you die to someone who's, you know, playing weird or tracking you through a wall or something. They said it's coming. It's 70% done, and they plan to add it by the end of the year. So a Killcam is coming. I don't know how I feel about that. If you're playing in squads, that might be able to like give away position kind of. It would be cool if it was delayed. I know this has been talked about in Tarkov for a long time, if there will be kill cams or not, how it would help. It would be really cool maybe if you could see the kill cam after the raid was over, so you wouldn't be able to give any intel to your teammates. I think that would be pretty cool, and a little bit more fair. Maps, there are new maps coming. We got an image of some of them. There's going to be 2 new Havoc maps, one of which is going to be infantry focused, so I know that's pretty fun. And then 1 new Hazard Ops map is going to be coming soon called Breckish. There was a little bit of it shown in the Gamescom trailer. It's an ancient city with like a Havoc modern military or lab type building in the middle of it. We got a really cool screenshot of that as well. And then someone asked if they could simplify crafting, which I really don't agree with. I thought Delta Force really kind of sat in a really good place on the spectrum of arcadey to hardcore. Crafting is really cool. You know, you still have to purchase ammo and you still have to heal yourself in raid. It's not auto regen like DMZ and Call of Duty, but you don't have to pack mags and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was in a really good pocket, and I didn't think the crafting was too bad. There was enough items you could try to find in the real world to craft stuff. It saved you money. And some of the trades did too. I thought it was pretty good. The only thing, and this was what was addressed, if you craft something, it took a ridiculous amount of time to get done. And Shadow, the game production or the game director, went on to say they will be speeding up production time significantly for all that stuff to make it more reasonable. So that's really the only change I wanted to see from crafting. For those of you that played it, let me know if you want to see anything else. I really hope they don't simplify it too much, because I think it really fits in a good pocket. They mentioned that they're working on jets. They're hard at work to get jets added to the game. And then another big one, solo queue. Someone asked about solo queue, and they will be adding some options for solo players in queuing later on this year. So it sounds like in the extraction mode, there's a solo queue option coming, which will be pretty cool, because I tried to play it solo in 3s and it's rough. It's fun. It's scary. I made a lot of money sneaking around, but it's definitely scary. If you get into it, you know, you're probably toast. But anyway, guys, I think that's all that's coming to the game. It sounds like these are really awesome changes. These are kind of the next steps for the game. The big question remains, what does it remain for you? But for me, from when I hear this stuff, the big question remains for me, whenever they do the Steam Next Fest test, when we get to play this thing towards, you know, middle or end of October, what the heck's gonna happen then? Is that a limited time test? How long does it run? Or is that test going to go ahead and stay on until it launches for everybody early access later on this year in Q4 2024? That's my biggest question, because I feel like, you know, maybe selfish me, just leave the game on, man. It plays really well. It plays really well. It was a ton of fun, and I can't wait for it to come back. We'll be covering it on this channel. We'll be playing it on this channel. So if you're interested in this is a really cool extraction mode. Just full candidness here, man. I think Delta Force will be a really fun extraction game for us to play and cover, while we also cover Gray Zone Warfare, and kind of, you know, let that cook and let that develop over the next couple of years. I think we have a lot of exciting times on this channel when it comes to extraction shooters, and I would love to have you guys along for the ride. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. That's incredibly kind of you guys, and I hope to see you on the next one.